specifics to know what took place. Now, you'll see a number of defense lawyers come and make that case. They will try and say that this witness has said statements similar to other witnesses, that perhaps they're watching the testimonies of previous witnesses on television, that there are marked similarities in what they're hearing. And just a short time ago, maybe about 10 minutes ago, Saddam Hussein spoke. He stood up. He first began by citing from the Quran, as he often does. He then said that under the Quran and under Sharia law, human being does not mature until a certain age, essentially trying to discredit this witness given that they were 8 years old. This man was 8 years old at the time. He then went on, though, to hark back to what he was saying yesterday about the alleged abuse. He said, and at this point it seemed his microphone, and you see on these microphones that red light, when that light is off for those of us who are in the courtroom, that's when we assume the video is being cut, the audio as well. And as Saddam was speaking again about this alleged abuse, that red light was not on, so it's likely not in the video that will be released. He said that the White House has lied, that the Zionists and Americans have lied, and that they have called him a liar, but it is they who said that there were weapons in Iraq. They have not found any. It is they who have said what Saddam Hussein said was not true. He said that he also took notes of injuries in front of 3 American medical teams, and he said that those injuries, some of them had healed. This was 8 months ago. He said some of the injuries, those now 3 years on, have not. So again, he tried to bring in the nature of his detainment. The prosecutor interrupted and said that the judge needed to keep Saddam Hussein on task. So Saddam Hussein then got sort of angry and said, we don't have any newspapers to speak for us. This is an insult to your president. For 35 years, Iraqis would not like liars telling their country what to do. And then Saddam spoke about the injuries again and then simply sat down. He ended his speech. So right now, as I speak, his half-brother is speaking. You see Saddam there. And again, what you're going to see are the defense lawyers trying to pinpoint specifics from these witnesses, discredit the fact that this witness was 8 years old at the time. You will then see Awad Bandar, some of the other defendants get up and speak, and then finally Saddam Hussein. Ralitza?
Anish Rahman in the courthouse, thank you very much. We will continue to talk to you as the trial proceeds. I'd like to cross over to our legal analyst, Mark Ellis. He helped set up this court. He's joining us now with his thoughts. So, Mark, tell us about your thoughts as we hear about yet another outburst from Saddam Hussein. What is the significance of this with regards to the ability of this court to proceed and for the presiding judge to control the situation?
Well, I think it's absolutely essential that the court is the one in control, and the judges are the ones that are making the decisions on when, in fact, a defendant is able to speak. The rules are generally liberal in this area. It gives the judge great discretion in deciding when a defendant speaks. However, the rules are quite adamant that the defendant cannot question a witness unless the judge permits it. But what this judge has been doing is allowing the defendants to speak generally, but I think that, and hopefully he will continue to gain greater control over this and not allow the defendants to move off the issues of the case. And this is something that Saddam Hussein has been doing, and I think it's within the right of the judge and certainly within the rules to cut him off and to say he must stay consistent with arguing issues that deal with this particular case or being able to cross-examine the witnesses. And I think the type of cross-examination that has occurred yesterday and today is appropriate, and I think the defense attorneys are right to be testing the veracity of the witnesses, considering the age that they were at the time the alleged atrocities were committed, and the memory issue. This is very appropriate. But what's not appropriate is to have diatribes from any of the defendants, and this is something the court needs to get control over.
Mark, thank you very much. We'll continue to speak as these proceedings go ahead, and we'll go back now to the proceedings themselves. Again, a reminder, we're receiving them with a 20-minute delay. So far what we've been watching while we were talking with Mark Ellis was the former Qatari Justice Minister, one of the lawyers for Saddam Hussein, cross-examining the first witness for the day.
I was at home. He said he was by the infirmary. When he was at the infirmary, we were there. When he left, we came back to house. Was he a student at school? What year? What grade? I was fourth year, fourth elementary. And I was going into fifth. Were you going in the morning or in the evening? It was a vacation.
منو كان وياه بالحادث؟ من كان واقف؟
Who was he?
كان واقف أو بالبيت منو كان وياه؟
Who was with him at home? My brothers.
الرئيس وين كان وقت الحادث؟
Where was the president at the time of the incident? I only saw the president by the infirmary, the old city.
الساعة ايش قد كانت وقت الحادث؟
What time was it at the time of the accident? I don't know, because I don't have a watch and I wasn't paying attention to the time.
من صار حادث طلع له بقى بالبيت؟
When the accident happened, did he stay at home or did he leave? When we heard the firearms and the planes, we saw the planes low, we went to the house.
حسب علمه الرئيس تم قبل الصلاة لو بعد الصلاة.
As he knew, was the president attacked before or after prayer? I don't know.
شنو عملك الآن؟
What do you do now?
اسم المدرسة بأي مدرسة؟
Worker. What school were you at?
هل تم اعتقالك؟
Were you arrested? He said no, I was not arrested.
شفت السيد برزان بعينك بال
Did you see Barzan in person in jail? No, I did not see
ليش
Barzan.
تشتكي عليه؟
So why are you complaining against him? Because at that time my grandmother was arrested by the intelligence and she was tortured and her children were tortured to confess for something they did not
وقت
know.
الحادث وين كان والدك؟
Where was your father at the time of the accident?
والدك وعمامك وين كانوا؟
And your uncles at the house.
البستان مالكم يم بالشارع تضرر ولا ما تضرر؟
Your house was it damaged? Yes, they were plowed. No, I mean by the bombardment, by the shelling. Did it suffer? Nobody was at the farm. No, the farm itself, was it physically damaged or what kind of farm? Fruits and grapes? Did it? I don't know at that time. Nobody. When the accident to jail, nobody went to farms or to the market.
زين تم تعويضكم لو لا؟
Were you compensated? No, we did not receive any compensation.
أنت شخصيا تحب الرئيس لو ما تحبه؟
You personally, do you like the president or not?
هذا سؤال ما يتعلق بأي.
لا شخصيا بداخله.
ممكن أن يثبت ولكن المحكمة.
This is not a question that is appropriate.
تجاه الرئيس عنده عداء شخصي.
Does he have any personal? I asked him about any personal animosity or friendship.
هذا السؤال وراه جواب.
There is I need an answer to this question.
سؤال أعتقد شخصي.
I think this is a personal question. You can put the question on record.
باعتباره سؤال غير منتج أو شخصي.
But this is not productive. Yes, go ahead. In the name of God, most compassionate, peace be upon you. I have only a question for the witness. When was the plowing? I don't remember exactly, but I saw the plowing. What season? What time? What does he mean? A month after the accident? How long did it take until the plowing took place? I don't remember the months or the days, but I saw the plowing approximately. Don't you know? No, he doesn't know.
من هم السواق في هذه البلدوزرات؟
Who was driving the bulldozers? I don't know who the drivers. Kurds or Arabs or. I saw bulldozers plowing the farms. Can he remember the color of the bulldozers? Yellow.
كم مساحة البساتين العائدة لكم؟
What's the area of the farms that you own? We have 3 lots in each direction, a total of 60 acres. Thank you. In the name of God, Your Honor, we don't, our belief in the illegitimacy of the court notwithstanding, we are surprised with this children that are way under the legal age come to this court. What is the benefit of his coming? This is wasting of time. He says that my father was executed. His asking. He was a child at that time. Are you taking his testimony for something that happened 25 years old? This will be left for the court to decide, but as a complaint witness, he is a complainant. He's asking for his right because his father was executed.
In the
name of God, Your Honor, I don't have a question, but I have a clarification to the court. Your Honor, all the witnesses, or most of them, ask for the protection of the witnesses. In the law, if the testimony is to be compensated by something in return, then it is not admissible. Article 15 of the rules of procedure says that there's before the court, the witnesses have to be equal. So, giving them all the material help and all of those witnesses that come according to those standards, they are coming for a benefit, for a compensation. So their testimonies are questionable because they're getting something in return, protection and otherwise. The witness, when they're giving their testimony, they should come with a clear intention, with something that he and God only know. But to come before the court for a long time, he is a prosecutor more than a witness. He's a plaintiff. He is being coached, he is being studied, they are deliberating among themselves. Their testimonies are being watched by the TV, so that's why we see all the witnesses are singing the same song. In the Iraqi law, the witness should all be sequestered until they all come out, but they are watching TV. They are sequestered, but they are watching TV. They see what the other witnesses are saying. So this is not. This is. We want this to go on the record in the court. Thank you, Your Honor. We have a comment. We would like to recommend that the testimonies are not to be broadcast until all the witnesses' testimonies were given, because now they're watching each other and they're repeating each other's testimonies. After we left, we saw TV. We saw that there is. The defendant is being edited out and the witness's testimony is being broadcast completely. So please stop broadcasting these testimonies, and that's for the benefit of the defendants and for the justice to be prevailed. This is an accepted request and we will study it. Thank you. as of the editing out of the broadcast. If it's for the witness, then if it's we notice that even with the request, with the defendant, when they talk outside of the scope, that's why we edit it out. But because it's a plaintiff and he has a right, that's why we don't edit it out. The question is this question, is it